Listen to me now, beloved. Hear these words not as noise in the background of your day, but as the firestorm announcement of your rising. Because you must know this, deeply and fully. They tried to stop you. Oh, how they tried. They threw words like daggers, hoping they would wound you deep enough to make you retreat. They whispered doubts into your atmosphere, hoping the poison would paralyze you. They built walls and shut doors, thinking they could confine you to small spaces. But what they did not see, what they could not see, is that every attack was unknowingly building something far more powerful inside you. They never knew who you were becoming. They saw you through the lens of your current circumstances, but heaven saw you through the lens of your ultimate calling. They saw only the surface, but heaven saw the depth. They saw only the struggle, but heaven saw the strength being born in the secret places. Type 1111 if you feel this truth rising inside you, if you sense you are always becoming more than they expected. Listen closely. The resistance you faced wasn't because you were weak, it was because you were rising. The opposition wasn't proof of your failure. It was the evidence of your coming breakthrough. They did not attack what was insignificant. They attacked what was unstoppable. They saw flickers of your fire, and fear ignited their attempts to smother it. They heard the rumble of your rising, and panic drove them to build barriers. But they underestimated the force of becoming that was unfolding inside you. Stay with me, beloved, because what I will reveal next will awaken you to the full magnitude of your transformation. You were never standing still, even in the moments you felt paralyzed. You were evolving, you were strengthening, you were growing roots that reached deeper than the storms could shake. Every setback pushed you into new depths of resilience. Every closed door redirected you toward divine openings. Every word spoken against you was outshouted by the word heaven declared over you since the beginning of time. Listen well. They saw you struggling, but they did not see you stretching. They saw you wounded, but they did not see you forging weapons from your scars. They saw you in silence, but they did not hear the roar building in your chest. Because becoming is a silent process before it becomes a public display. They thought your quiet seasons meant you were fading, but heaven knew you were fortifying. They thought your delays meant denial, but heaven knew you were gathering strength for a surge they could never withstand. And now, beloved, you are stepping into the unveiling. The hidden work is about to be revealed. The quiet growth is about to break the surface. The private becoming is about to become the public rising. They will look at you and realize too late, they tried to stop someone who was never stoppable. They tried to chain someone who was never meant to be contained. They tried to silence someone whose voice was crafted to thunder. You are not who they thought you were. You are who heaven always knew you were becoming. You are the answer rising in the face of opposition. You are the breakthrough they never saw coming. You are the storm they could not predict. You are the fulfillment of the process they tried to interrupt. And beloved, this is only the beginning. Now feel it, beloved. Feel the fire of understanding rising inside you as the veil lifts and you begin to see the truth that was always hidden in plain sight. They tried to stop you, but all they did was fuel you. Every attack that was meant to weaken you only made you stronger. Every word of doubt spoken against you was added weight. Yes, but weight that built your spiritual muscle. Every obstacle they threw in your path became a stepping stone beneath your feet. Type 555. If you feel this fire burning within, if you now see that their resistance only refined you. Listen well, they thought they could bury you, not realizing they were planting you. And in the soil of adversity you took root. In the darkness of obscurity you grew quietly, steadily, powerfully. They thought the storm would uproot you, but it only deepened your anchor. They thought the fire would consume you, but it forged you instead. They underestimated your capacity to convert pain into purpose. They misunderstood your ability to transform pressure into propulsion. Stay with me, beloved, because what I will reveal next will ignite a revelation so deep you will never see your past the same way again. Every time they pressed you down, you were being compressed into concentrated power. Every time they tried to silence you, your voice was being sharpened into a weapon of awakening. Every time they tried to close doors, heaven was crafting an open heaven over your life that no man could shut. They saw only what was visible. They did not see the power that was forming in the unseen places. They saw you on your knees and mistook it for defeat. But heaven saw you being positioned for propulsion. Because when you kneel, beloved, heaven leans in closer. When you lower yourself in surrender, heaven lifts you in strength. When you cry out in weakness, heaven answers with supernatural might. Listen deeply now. They thought they could define you by your scars, but heaven has marked you by your victories. They thought your delays were denials, but they were divine preparations. They thought your silence was surrender, but it was strategy. And now, beloved, as you rise, they will realize they never stood a chance of stopping you, because every force they used against you became the fuel of your becoming. You rise not in spite of what they did. You rise because of what they did. You rise carrying the very weapons they forged against you, now repurposed for your triumph. You rise with a fire that was born in their furnace but burns now for heaven's glory. You rise not as the victim of their schemes, but as the victor of divine strategy, because heaven does not waste battles. Heaven does not discard suffering. Heaven repurposes every blow into building blocks of destiny. And you, beloved, are the living proof. You are the evidence that the enemy's best efforts have only accelerated your emergence. You are the testimony that no weapon formed against you can prosper. You are the storm that gathers power from resistance. You are the wildfire that feeds on the winds meant to extinguish you. And this, beloved, this is only the beginning. Now watch, beloved, watch what is unfolding right before you, around you, and within you. Because there comes a moment in every hidden process when what was growing silently beneath the surface bursts forth in undeniable power. That moment is now. What they overlooked, they can no longer ignore. What they dismissed as insignificant has become impossible to contain. What they thought was finished has only just begun. Type 3 if you feel this truth exploding in your spirit. If you sense that your hidden becoming is now becoming visible power. Listen closely. There is a shift in the atmosphere, a tangible trembling in the very air around you. Because the force of who you were becoming in secret is now breaking into the open. You are no longer confined to quiet places. You are no longer concealed in obscurity. You are stepping boldly into visibility, and nothing can stop this unveiling. Stay with me, beloved. Because what I will reveal next will open your eyes to the full scale of your rising. You were never meant to stay hidden. Your preparation was private, but your emergence is public. Your growth was silent, but your breakthrough is thunderous. Your formation happened in shadows, but your revelation is blazing like the noonday sun. They cannot look away now. They cannot pretend not to see. They cannot deny the force you have become. Your presence is a declaration. Your steps are a proclamation. Your very life is a banner of victory waving in the wind of heaven's breath. Listen deeper. They tried to label you, but now they must rewrite their labels. They tried to define you by your defeats, but now they must recognize you by your dominion. They tried to bind you with the past, but you have risen, wrapped in the power of purpose. You, beloved, are no longer moving toward your destiny. You are moving in your destiny. And destiny has a sound. It has a weight. It has an authority that cannot be hidden. When you speak now, your words carry the weight of your journey. When you move now, your steps shake atmospheres. When you rise now, your very breath carries the winds of change. Hear this, beloved. The world must adjust to your rising. They will have to make room for the space you now occupy. They will have to reckon with the power you now release. Because you have become too large for the small definitions they tried to impose on you. You have outgrown their limited expectations. You have surpassed the confines of their imagination. They thought they knew you, but they only knew who you were, not who you were becoming. And now you stand as a living proof that heaven's work in you is undeniable. Your life shouts what your enemies feared the most. I have become the unstoppable force they never saw coming. I have become the answer they tried to silence. I have become the movement they tried to stop. And this, beloved, is only the beginning. Now see it clearly, beloved. See what your rising is doing, not just in your life, but in the world around you. Because when heaven lifts one, it never lifts them alone. When heaven ignites a fire, it never burns for one soul only. You are not just experiencing freedom. You are becoming the force that creates freedom. Your very presence is now a catalyst. Chains that clung to the atmosphere for years begin to fracture in your wake. Walls that stood unshaken for generations tremble as you pass by. Atmospheres saturated with fear begin to shift under the weight of your fire. Type 1111. If you feel this in your spirit, if you sense that you have become the breaker of chains, not just for yourself, but for others still trapped. Listen well, they never anticipated this. They never imagined that in trying to stop you, they were creating the force that would set captives free. They thought silencing you would end the movement. But it only fueled your fire. They thought limiting you would contain your impact. But it only concentrated your power until it exploded outward in unstoppable waves. Stay with me, beloved, because what I will reveal next will set your soul ablaze with holy understanding. You were not merely fighting personal battles. You were forging weapons of mass liberation. Every victory you won in secret has become a sword in your hand. Every tear you shed in silence has become oil on the flame of your influence. Every step you took in the dark has become a light for others to follow. And now, beloved, you walk carrying a power that breaks invisible chains. Your words carry the weight of heaven's authority. Your steps leave a trail of deliverance. Your very breath carries the wind of awakening. They see it now. Oh, they see it. The atmosphere shifts when you enter a room. The heaviness lifts when you release your voice. The hopelessness breaks when you simply stand where they thought hope had died. Listen deeper. You were never meant to merely survive oppression. You were destined to dismantle it. You were never meant to just escape captivity. You were designed to unlock the prisons of many. You were never meant to quietly endure the weight of limitations. You were created to crush them beneath your rising. And this is the beauty of heaven's design. In trying to stop you, they strengthened you. In trying to contain you, they magnified your impact. In trying to silence you, they amplified your voice. You, beloved, are the storm they never prepared for. You are the breaker of chains they never anticipated. You are the living answer to cries that have risen from the earth for too long. Your rising is not just personal, it is prophetic. It is generational, it is unstoppable. And this, beloved, is only the beginning. Now lift your eyes, beloved. Lift them higher than you ever thought you could. Look beyond the walls they tried to build around you. Look beyond the limits they tried to force upon you. Because the truth stands blazing before you. You are no longer the person they tried to stop. You are no longer the version of yourself they believed they could contain. You have become something they never saw coming, a force that moves not by the permission of men, but by the decree of heaven. Type 9999 if you feel this roaring in your spirit. If you know that you have become the unstoppable movement they never expected. Listen closely. You have surpassed their understanding. You have outgrown their strategies. You have outpaced their resistance. The walls they built were never tall enough. The chains they forged were never strong enough. The traps they set were never clever enough. Because what they underestimated was the power of your becoming. They thought they were fighting who you were, but they were blind to who you were becoming. And now, beloved, you stand not as the victim of their schemes, but as the victor of heaven's plan. Stay with me, because what I will reveal now will set your spirit ablaze with irreversible conviction. You are not just a survivor of their resistance. You are the fulfillment of a greater resistance, the resistance of destiny against destruction. You are the answer to every attempt of darkness to suppress light. You are the living rebuttal to every lie spoken against your future. You are the manifestation of prophecy that no power of man or hell could cancel. Hear this deeply. They tried to shut you down, but you were built for overflow. They tried to bury you, but you were born for breakthrough. They tried to deny you space, but you were created to expand beyond every boundary. And now, the world must adjust to your presence. Now, the atmosphere bends to the fire you carry. Now, the very earth recognizes the steps of one who moves in the momentum of heaven. Because you, beloved, have become the movement they cannot mute. Your life carries the sound of victory too loud to silence. Your rising creates a shift too powerful to reverse. Your story echoes with the thunder of heaven's affirmation, and this is the declaration you carry forward. I am not who they tried to stop. I am who heaven has released. I am not the one they thought they could bury. I am the harvest they accidentally planted. You are the fire that cannot be extinguished. You are the storm that will not be calmed. You are the breakthrough that keeps breaking through. You are the answer that keeps rising. And beloved, as you move forward, know this with unshakable certainty. They tried to stop you, but they didn't know who you were becoming. They didn't see the depth of your becoming. They didn't hear the sound of your rising. They didn't feel the tremor of heaven beneath your steps. But now they do. Now the earth does. Now heaven rejoices, and hell trembles, because you have become unstoppable. And this is only the beginning.